the first round at pick 14, I have the Ravens selecting Jordan Davis, D-lineman out of Georgia. He's a popular selection or mock to the Ravens at 14. Some of the reason I have the Ravens selecting him has to do with going back and watching the two down lineman rotation the Ravens had in 2021. Jordan's going to upgrade that immediately. He's going to provide pressure up the middle. You can't block him one-on-one. I don't see him as simply a nose tackle or simply someone you would rotate with Pierce, although that's going to happen. I think he'll be moved all over the interior, some three-tech, over the guard, inside the tackle. He offers a really rare blend of that enormous size with that athleticism, and he's going to be disruptive versus the run. He's going to press the pocket and offer opportunities for other rushers outside. Be very interesting to see and study the schemes of the Ravens defense under the new coordinator. There has to be an effort made to get pressure with four, and the two down lineman fronts or rotations that they offered last year weren't getting it done. Ellis, Matabike, Brandon Williams, Calais Campbell, even Broderick Washington. Now, Broderick did come along last year, and he did show that he is a good rotational D lineman and a versatile one as well. But he's going to, as I mentioned earlier, he is going to step up the play of guys like Broderick and Matabike. In the second round at pick 45, I have the Ravens selecting wide receiver Christian Watson. If left to my own devices, I'm going to pick defense. 7 rounds. In this case, I would probably take Ebukati, Ojabo, maybe Roger McCrary if they were there. But I really do like what Christian Watson offers, and I want to talk about it a little bit. Christian has excellent size. He has excellent athleticism, an unusual combination of those two. To me, he has very, very good acceleration, good route runner, crisp out of breaks, shows he can beat press, varies his route tempo very, very subtly. He's fast. He's a good open field runner. He lines up everywhere, slot, outside, in the backfield as a back, runs a lot of reverses. I'd like to talk about him in the backfield, this concept of all 11, which is to say minimal substitutions, keeping the same 11 players on the field. See this in college more and more over the last few years. It's probably working its way into the pro game. The idea being with Christian in the backfield, you could have 5 legitimate game-breaking pass catchers on the field at the same time, and you can run the football. You got Mark Andrews, him, Rashad, Duvernay, and Marquise Brown. The other idea being maybe you take one of the receivers off and you put a back in the backfield. Now, each of our backs are very, very capable lead blockers in addition to being great backs. Splitting out either one of them, kind of motioning them out of the backfield, keeping all 11 on the field at the same time. I think Watson, as dangerous as he is as a pass catcher, offers that opportunity for the Ravens to put 5 very effective offensive weapons, really go after teams early in games, get on top. In the third round, at pick 76, I have the Ravens selecting offensive tackle Rasheed Walker out of Penn State. Rasheed has the best combination of hands and feet outside of the first round. Rasheed can play left tackle, and he can play right tackle. This pick to me is fairly essential. I don't see the opportunity to grab a player of Rasheed's caliber and versatility much beyond this point of the third round. There'll be some right tackles around, but this guy can play either side, and the Ravens have to be prepared for Ronnie Stanley not being ready or getting injured again. It wouldn't be ideal to have a rookie at left tackle, but Lamar has the ability to make offensive linemen a little bit better or look a little bit better. I like Rasheed a lot. I think he's being slept on. I see this guy as a starter in the league, It may take him a year to work his way into the lineup if everybody stays healthy, but he may provide the opportunity to either move on from Ronnie Stanley or have a really quality left-right tackle combination. At pick 100, third round compensatory pick, I have the Ravens selecting Alex Wright, edge defender, D lineman out of University of Alabama at Birmingham. Alex is a high upside pass rusher. Year one, he is a 9-up player. What I mean by that is if the Ravens are able to get 9 points up on the opponent, he's going to be on the field coming after the quarterback, part of a 4-man pressure. Alex is a tall player with long arms, 34-inch arms, has very good ball get-off, surprising ability to bend for a man that size. There's some discrepancy about his height. He's taller than 6'5". Some have him listed at 6'7". And he weighs 270. He has pop in his hands. He has a nice inside counter off of a jab step swat. He does a good job clearing the outside arm. He has a tendency to duck his head versus the run. That's a problem. But as I said, in year one, he looks to me like a player who could dominate. He was dominant versus a lower level of competition, but he showed well against Georgia and against BYU. Alex also offers positional versatility. He's lined up all over the front as well as outside the tackles in college. The Ravens will put weight on him in year one, and they'll use him similarly moving forward. I think this player could be a steal. With the Ravens' first pick in round 4, I have them selecting Jake Ferguson, tight end, Wisconsin. Jake's one of my favorite players that I've watched of late. Jake's a versatile tight end. I see him somewhere between Mark Andrews and Nick Boyle. They line him up all over the place. They often run behind him. They use him as a lead blocker out of wing or H-back alignment. They line him up in line. He gets movement off the ball, and he's not a huge guy. He could stand to put on more weight. Jake's a good open field runner. He's very effective in the screen game. And part of what makes that work for him in college is the fact that he's such a good inline blocker. He does a great job selling that. Jake is also a reliable target in the red zone. Physical guy, very, very competitive. You see him throwing his body around, being thrown around, and getting up and going back to work. He's a Ravens-type player. I'm going to have a video coming out on him soon. Really like Jake Ferguson for the Ravens. With the Ravens' second pick in round 4, I have the team selecting Joshua Williams, cornerback, Fayetteville State University. I watched as much tape as I could find on Joshua, which wasn't too much. He's 6'3", 200 pounds, big, long corner. I thought he looked particularly promising in off-man, or in particular in sort of cover 3 zone structures. He does have very impressive feet, and he looks great in terms of movement skills. His back pedal is impressive. He's developmental, but there is high upside with this pick. With the Ravens' third, 4th round selection, I have them selecting running back Kyren Williams out of Notre Dame. Kyren's just a great running back. He tested not as well as people would have liked. I think that's what drops him into the 4th round. Very patient, very shifty runner. Excellent in the pass game, excellent pass protector. I think he offers a great deal to the Ravens, and I'd be very excited to see the Ravens pick him up. I have the Ravens with their 4th pick in round 4, selecting another small school corner out of Sam Houston State, Zyon McCollum. Another big corner, 6'2", 200, 40-inch vertical, 4.33 40, so very, very athletic. Between the two of them, I preferred Joshua, but Zyon offers a ton of upside as well. I think he could stand to be more physical at the line of scrimmage, more physical as a tackler as well. However, I really liked how they moved him around, covered the slot, played left side, played right side. He's very competitive, and again, great athleticism, great upside for both these young corners. And I would put these two together, and develop them alongside one another. And I hope that you can foster this environment of a healthy competition. And who knows, the Ravens might get 2 really good corners out of this draft. It should also be mentioned that I don't have an understanding of how the back end is going to operate under the new coordinator. It's interesting that Zyon, to me, is a little bit better or a little further along in his man skills. And Joshua looks like he might fit better in zone coverage. And they might kind of feed off of each other and learn from each other. I have the Ravens with their final pick in the 4th round selecting offensive lineman Brock Hoffman out of Virginia Tech. Brock's played right tackle, I think both guard positions, and he's played center. Very physical, surprisingly mobile, has great size for the center position compared to a lot of the centers in this year's class. Not uncommon to see him pancaking, finishing defenders, driving them into the ground. And while the Ravens would probably love a Pro Bowl center type, I think the Ravens would be okay in finding a center who could match the play of Bradley Bozeman. I think there's a higher upside here. Love this guy's physicality. Love his length at the center position. I love his versatility. I think it's a great pick in the 4th round.